Hello, Real Vision people. This is Sebastian Moonjava, and today we have a very special guest. We have Diego Gutierrez Zaldivar. He is the CEO of IOV Labs and co-founder of RSK. How you doing, Diego?
Very well, Sebastian. Thank you for having me here.
It's great to have you on. I've been really interested in some of this smart contract stuff that's going on in Bitcoin for quite a while. You guys have been working at this for I think a good few years, haven't you?
Yes, I think we were the first ones to bring smart contracts into Bitcoin, and we started at the end of 2015. We started working on it. We were discussing it earlier on.
That's
Yeah,
that no. I think that's great, and I think it's really important for the Bitcoin ecosystem. I'd love it if you could start off by just telling us a little bit about your background, how you got into cryptocurrency in the first place.
Yeah, I think my history goes way back because I was one of the pioneers of the web in Latin America back in the 90s. I created the website for the main newspaper in Argentina in 1995. We launched in early 1996. So I lived the full .com like boom and bust, and back then when we started, we were really idealistic about how the web was going to change the world. I think the web did change the world, maybe in a little bit different way than we expected, but still the change was very positive, and a lot of the things that we expected from it, like disintermediating access to knowledge, to communications, giving a voice to society, those things happen. But then, for many years after the decay of the web, well, I went on a sabbatical for a couple of years to live on a sailboat, and then I went back to seeing where I could apply myself. And then for a few years, I was trying to find that thing that would make me vibrate and connect with that purpose of social transformation using technology. And finally, in 2011, I got to know Bitcoin, but I didn't get it. I think that's a common place for most of us. It's like, we see it is so complex that at the beginning you don't realize the full potential of it. And in early 2012, a good friend from the web days, Wences Casares from Sapo, came to me and told me, Dieguito, because that's how they used to call me, little Diego, Dieguito, this is amazing, because we have been like discussing these ideas of, he was always searching for this idea of, a new banking system, new financial infrastructure. So he told me, this is amazing. I was in Argentina. We had capital controls, so it was impossible to get money in and out from Argentina. And he was in the Silicon Valley. He told me, open an account here, blockchain.info. It was like one of the early web wallets. And he sent me 5,000 Bitcoins that back then were maybe 50K USD. And I sent them back. It's unluckily I sent them. and the whole thing, he told me, well, keep one. And then, I kept one, and I saw that instead of one, I had 0.9995. So then I realized I was paying for the fees. So that was like, and I said, well, this is how like a truly open financial system and censorship resistant, neutral, and an open financial system should look like, because we didn't have to ask permission to anybody. He sent me the Bitcoins, across the continent. I sent it back to him, and the whole thing took us like maybe an hour. And the cost was back then, I don't know, 5 cents USD. So that was like my aha moment, like the thing that sparked the curiosity in me. And then I was like 15 days non-sleeping, like trying to understand mostly the monetary aspects of it. Because I think, I'm from a technical background, more social activism background. So I was missing the financial aspects. So finally, I realized, or my intuition after those 15 days was that Bitcoin was the next wave of disintermediation, was going to solve one problem I was looking for, that was how to create a collective economical coordination among people without intermediation, without the concentration of power. and that's how I started in Bitcoin. I started like meeting in cafes with people in Buenos Aires to buy and sell Bitcoins to get to know who was involved. So it was very interesting because you have 3D gamers, because the early Bitcoiner community was composed by the 3D gamers that were the ones mining because they were using their GPUs to do that. Then I bought a GPU and started mining myself. So I was trying to understand what was this new movement and what was happening around Bitcoin. And in early 2013, I met with two partners with whom we started the Bitcoin community in Argentina, and later during that year in Latin America, with whom we also started the Latin American Bitcoin Conference. And I started helping build communities all around Latin America. So I started traveling to Chile, to Uruguay, doing the first meetups, finding like the leaders in the region that would take over that. And now I would say Latin America is one of the leading communities in crypto. No? And it's not, of course, all because of our work, but also because I think the need is very clear. It's like when you talk about Bitcoin in the first world, then they say, okay, well, explain me why, or another payment system, but we already have a financial system that kind of works. I think recently is kind of failing, but historically it looked like a good system. In Latin America, that nothing works. So it's clear that local currencies are being debased all the time. There's economic instability, so you don't have many safe havens where you can protect your wealth. So Bitcoin is clearly something useful in that context.
And in Argentina has a booming crypto community, doesn't it? Like we've actually had another guest on that was from Argentina. It's a pretty big deal there.
It is. I think I always said, Argentina has the crossroads of, a population that is very aware of how macroeconomic decisions impact their lives. So people is always hedging against government's decisions. So things that in any other place make no sense, like stocking goods as a way of protecting wealth, like saying, okay, if you have a shop, you say, okay, I will not sell my goods because they will preserve value better than cash. So in certain extreme conditions, you have that. People buying cars as an investment, which we know is not a good investment, but in this context, again, you will preserve value better. And the other thing is that you have a dual economy, a dual monetary system, because everybody is saving in USD and then using pesos only for the very, very short term. So you have that like consciousness of how macroeconomics impact your life. And at the same time, you have a society that is very tech friendly. So Argentina was one of the first to adopt cable TV. Social networks were growing very fast. So that's why I think a lot of people think that Argentina will be, the place where cryptocurrencies are going to boom. And I think the possibilities are there. I think the whole Latin America has that potential, but I think Argentina can be a good demonstration effect of that. Mm-hmm.
Hey, if you like this clip, be sure to like and subscribe for more crypto related content. Also, be sure to check out the full interview and more only on realvision.com/crypto.